Crispy?
We're back, baby. Better than ever.
Do I sound crispy? How's it sound?
You sound extremely crispy.
All right, guys, we got to be crispy. You're looking crispy.
I feel crispy. I've been moisturizing. And I think that's the difference.
That is the difference. And look at you. You're not like you seem like you're in frame. Like you're not out of frame because usually you're out of frame.
I'm not really out of frame. I'm not out of frame. Look, I'm tough to keep bottled up, okay? Just had to, I moisturized. And I think that made a lot of difference, right? Change the regimen. You feel good, though.
What's up with the raincoat? Why are you in all black? What's going on today? No, leave it on. It looked crisp.
Nope.
You got to put it back on.
No, because then the whole time, you're gonna be in my head about like maybe I do look I'm in a freaking raincoat.
You should put the black coat back on. That
Why?
salmon, because it matches the back of the wall behind you, so it doesn't look like.
I can't go back.
There's no distinction between your shirt and the wall. You're blending into the wall.
I'm just gonna be a floating head.
You're a floating head. All right.
You had all this time that we were talking before the show started, and you couldn't have said one word then. You had to say it right now when we're live.
First segment coming at you live Friday afternoon at 1:45. We start anytime between 1:30 and 2:30, sometimes before, sometimes after. It's a work in progress, but we're going to get this ball rolling here, get our Friday started. Our Friday afternoon, evening started, I should say. And we're going to kick it off with our go-to, probably the most important segment that we have.
Who cares?
What's your rate? Al, we're going to talk about interest rates. You don't like talking about interest rates. We got to do it, okay?
Hate talking about interest rates.
It's important. I think that it's evolving from maybe what's your rate into like what went on this week on the economic calendar. So
it's a little bit of a long name for a title for a segment, though. Let's workshop that.
Okay, we do a lot of workshopping. I'll tell you what. All right. So a couple reports came out, and they're just always reporting. It's just so much. But the PPI and the CPI reports came out slightly higher this week. Year-over-year prices are 3.7% higher. So things are continuing to cost more than they did last year. Inflation is not getting better. Of course, bond markets reacted to that information, and bond prices, or the bond went up, bond yield went up. So pricing of interest rates went up as well. Some are saying that the bonds should probably have gone up and rates should probably have gone up even more, but it's kind of being curbed by the war that is breaking out in Israel, Palestine. So when conflicts break out over throughout the world, it's common that bonds will go down and interest rates will go down. That is because traders see bonds as a more stable place to put their money in uncertain times. So more traders buying bonds, more demand, the yield will go down. So, that's not a good thing that war is keeping interest rates from going even crazier. And it's just something that we're reporting. And, we don't want to see war. I'd rather have high rates than see war. I'd rather have 20% interest rates and peace than war and 2% rates. Yeah. So, or even COVID shutdown and 2% rates. So,
nope. Unfortunately, we get death and ridiculously high interest rates. So
yeah.
Yeah.
What a nice Friday afternoon show.
Yeah.
Death and high rates.
We got to keep it light and fluffy. Try to keep airy heading into the weekend, right? Lots of fun.
Yeah.
So fifth week in a row that the 30-year fixed rate, the average 30-year fixed rate has risen. It's up 8 basis points, right? Week over week to 7.57. So Now it's important to keep in mind that, when we quote these rates, right? When we quote that rate, the Freddie PMMS rate, it's based on basically the perfect borrower profile, or very, very good borrower profile with very good credit. 20% down, one, single family home, or, one unit residence. It's pretty much the benchmark when you see that rate quoted. So certainly doesn't, apply to every single person or every single loan. But
Right.
regardless, yeah, they're up and they keep going up, and it's not slowing down. And roller coasters are fun because at some point usually they go down, but it just feels like you're just on a roller coaster and it just keeps clicking, click, click,
Clunk, 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 clunk.
and you're like, this is going to be a hell of a ride when this thing comes back down, right? When it comes back, it's going to be roots and turns, especially if it's one of those old wooden ones, you know what I mean? One of those. But I think it's gonna click a couple 100 feet higher, I guess. Just keeps going. This roller coaster it's gonna be wild.
The roller coaster it's going higher for longer. I hate when they get like these phrases stuck in the phrases get stuck in the head and they just keep saying it over and over. So segue into our next segment, which is niche. It's back. We're back with niche. We're coming back at you. We're back with niche. So segue from high rates to a program that can help with high rates.
Mhm.
Program that was gaining popularity when rates started going into the sevens, and it kind of felt like it trickled off a bit, but
Yeah.
you're going to hear a lot more about it if rates do in fact stay higher for longer. So the program is the 3-2-1 buy down. 2-1 buy downs are out there. We have 3-2-1 buy down. So that's a program where the interest rate is going to be artificially lower for the first 3 years of the life of the loan. So for a 3-2-1 buy down, it's just as the name suggests. The first year, the rate is 3% lower than your qualifying rate at closing. Second year, 2%. Third year, 1%. So I'm going to throw some numbers at you here. And it's going to be based off of a $420,000 loan at 7.5%. That principal and interest would be $29.37. So if you do a 3-2-1 buy down, first year 4.5%, you're saving $809 a month. Second year, 5.5%, you're saving $552 a month. Third year, you're at 6%, and you're saving $282 a month, for a total savings over those 3 years of $19,716.
Yeah.
So, Al, when we were running through this, you said nothing is free. Of course, lenders aren't going to give away these rates and lose money. So how are these paid for? Can you talk about that?
Yeah,
How's
so
that?
basically, it's going to be paid for by the seller or by the realtor.
Wait. Why are you laughing? You got a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice than getting your realtor to pay for your 3-2-1 buy down.
Yeah, they're not cutting commish, right? We might slash a point here or there to make a deal go through because we're trying to help on DTI or what have you. You're not going to find a realtor out there. It's going to, slash prices to help you get a house.
I don't know. Maybe you will. Let's not
Maybe,
blanket statement anybody here.
Yeah.
There's no. All jokes aside, there's tons of great realtors out there, and check with your local realtors. I'm sure they're qualified,
We have a
licensed,
lot
and
of
all
great.
of that good stuff.
The reason we can make these jokes is because we're friends with a ton of realtors. So obviously, we can talk a little shit. I'm sure they can talk some shit about us.
Yeah. So the cost of the buy down is derived from the savings over the 3-year period. So in our scenario, you're saving $19,716. The cost for the buy down, the cost that you would have to get paid for by the seller, by the agent, or a combination is going to be $19,000. Right, exactly.
So again, nothing's free. It sounds great to talk about. It might, it might help somebody, right, get that house. And it's an exciting program to talk about. But at the end of the day, just keep that in mind that it's not like the lenders are being, feeling all warm and cuddly and just want to help you, Mr. Homeowner, out and not take any more of your money. That's just not the case. They're going to get paid regardless, and you're going to pay,
Right.
or somebody's going to pay. So
Somebody's going to pay. And, in today's market, there aren't many buyers. There's very little inventory, so maybe some houses are sitting, and maybe you have a motivated seller, and you can go and say, "Hey, I need seller concession." So what you should do is, if this program interests you, you should talk to Al or I, and we can calculate for you when you're going to make the offer.
yep.
You can go, "Hey, seller, I want to buy the house at this price, but I need a seller concession of $19,716." And then at least you're having the conversation with with the seller up front. And then, you can maybe work something out, negotiate something. That is where your realtor will come in and do a great job negotiating price, negotiating concessions.
Mm-hmm.
So all jokes aside, that's definitely what they're going to be good at, is negotiating it. So
Right, and
buyer,
that's when a loan officer does a good job of communicating with the realtor, this is what we need in order to fit, because there's certain programs that are you got to fit in a box, right? They're not one
they're
size fits
niche.
all. They're niche, right? Niche. Um, but that's where it comes in, having good communication between the loan officer and the realtor, because you could say, hey, this is what we're going to need in order to fit within this program, right? And to give this borrower, X, Y, or Z benefit, right? This is definitely a great program for some folks. Another one is the program we talked about in our very first show, right? The
1% by or
1%,
plus 1+.
yeah, the 1+, 1% down, 2% grant program, right? So I mean, we're helping. I'm helping somebody right now. They're getting a free $7,000, right? Basically 2% down from the lender, because we were able to negotiate the deal and fit this deal within that box, within the parameters it needed to be in to help the borrower. So, definitely something that you would want to talk to your real estate agent about and your loan officer about. But that's that good communication comes in to and works to the benefit of you, the buyer, right? And that's essentially what it comes down to, is how can we get you the best deal possible? If there's free money out there, how can we get it for you? So
Right. Yep. Awesome. And yeah, sometimes you need somebody that would get creative. So I'm trying to watch the time this week. We are moving on to our next segment, which is, we're bringing back the old.
hot
There he
take,
is. Hot takes. We're going to bring it back.
hot takes.
Um,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
all right, I'll start off. You doing a seal impersonation?
No, no,
Touched
no,
by a
no.
rose?
That was just getting a little.
A little hot? It's getting hot. All right.
Smells.
Let's not lose ourselves
Something's
here.
burning.
Yeah, and it's my hot take. So I'm gonna go off here on a hot take.
God. My God. Go for it, Ab.
It's not that hot, but look, people ask the question: is it a good time to buy or sell, or is it a bad time to buy or sell? Is there ever a good time to buy or sell, or is there ever a bad time to buy or sell? I don't think there is. I think it comes down to the individual. If you are in a position to buy, and you can get a deal and you can afford the price, it's a good time to buy. If you're not in a position, if you have no savings, if you just lost your job, it's a bad time to buy.
Right.
If you're at the tip top of your price and it's going to blow out your budget, it's a bad time to buy. If you have some extra money monthly and you can get in the market where it's not competitive, it's a good time to buy.
Yeah.
So like blanket statement, is it a good time to buy or sell? I think it's silly for anybody to say it's a great time to buy, it's a great time to sell, or it's a bad time to buy or sell. It all comes down to scenarios, and it comes down to conversations. And look, it depends on on the person and the consumer, the buyer, the seller. Only you know, and only you can make informed decisions by asking questions and having conversations. So don't just sit back and assume it is a good time or a bad time. Think it through. If it's something that's even in your universe. If you're in a house and you love it, like, and you have no need or want, just watch our show for humor. But if you're, if you would love to move, why don't you analyze it and talk to somebody and see? Maybe you'll find out, oh wait, it's not that bad, and then you'll get into a house for a competitive price, and maybe you'll get those seller concessions.
It's a great point. That's a great point, App. I love that. Great hot take. Um, to your point, if you find the right house, if you have the means, and it's not very competitive out there right now, right? Or it's less competition, and you can get the house of your dreams, the house that you really want. You can afford it right now, with eyes on the future of hopefully refinancing at some point once rates inevitably do come down, and roller coasters kind of coming back down. Then great, do it. Otherwise, if you wait like everybody else, you're going to be in a bidding war, right? So your process right now might be a lot more smooth and less stressful. Whereas down the line, where it might, you're biting your fingernails, and it's like all offers in by Sunday, and you're battling with 50 other people. So
right.
Great hot take, that. Great hot take. I'm going to switch gears a little bit.
Call an audible at the line? You call an audible at the line?
Yeah, I'm going to call an audible at the line. I'm going to change it up a little bit. There's a 9-year-old kid that opens presents on YouTube, and his net worth is like $35 million. What the hell is going on, right? I mean, I'm doing everything I can to provide for my family. I'm doing everything I can, right? I'm stressing. It's terrible. My wife's working very hard. It takes everything we have, the constant stress, the anxiety before you go to bed, the anxiety as soon as your eyes open, and this kid's opening presents on YouTube, and he's making, millions of dollars. God, what does this world come to? Or, this is my love-hate with social media. So I want to stay away from it. Hate it, right? Because the fame and the fortune for doing absolutely nothing, right? Which is what I am aspiring to do right now. This is what I want. I want to talk on camera all day and get paid millions of dollars to do it, right?
Yeah.
But I probably better off, playing my odds are about as good as winning that $1.7 billion Powerball, right?
As hitting it off as a podcaster, YouTuber,
making millions of dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's on one hand, it's pretty frustrating for sure. On the other hand, it's like, it is kind of cool though. I mean, all you really need is a camera and, a phone and an idea and a little bit of a spark in your heart, and an audience. And
maybe I'm missing the spark then, right? Maybe that's what I'm missing. Maybe I just don't have enough spark in my heart. Is that something one of your niche programs can give me?
You got a twinkle in your eye. I don't know if you got a spark in your heart, kid.
You got a 3, 2, 1 spark?
I mean, most of the time you're gonna. I'm scratching my head when I when I listen to the radio or watch the blockbuster movie. It's usually not great.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the unboxing thing. People really get into it. It's almost an addiction. Like, people just get addicted to what they watch because they watch it. I don't know. It's wild.
I just can't get on board with it. I'm sorry, I can't get on board with it. I think it's ridiculous. For nothing.
Plus, little kids, man, just let them be kids.
Yeah, well, the kids probably ruined. I mean, how many of these young kids that have millions of dollars actually pan out well, the Biebers of the world and so forth? I don't know. You never know until you're in the situation, right? Maybe I got to get my kid into child acting. Maybe I got to sell feet pick. I don't know.
I don't know if child acting is the route or feet pick. But if a kid's got a talent for opening up gifts, and I'm sure he's charismatic, I don't know. Maybe you should watch some of it. You'd probably become addicted to it. You'd probably love it.
I will never. Because it's based on views, right? It's based on views. That's how he's getting paid. I'm not paying him. I refuse. I'm not doing it.
You refuse to pay him? All right, let's move on. Hot take. So what is, in summation, what is your hot take? That you don't like this kid, or you don't like Society?
Sometimes you got to stand on your soapbox and complain, right? That's my hot take. My hot take is I just want to complain about some shit. I wanted to be mad about this kid that's making millions of dollars for opening presents, and and we're cold calling and emailing and texting and trying to get a hold of people to get business, right?
And putting on a show.
Doing
Fucking
the Lord's work, yeah.
yeah.
Putting on a show. So
Okay, so we're this is an old school show. We got hot takes in here. We had niche, and we're going to an article for opinionated.
yeah,
So
get back to the
keeping it
roots.
keep it in industry. Our article for the day. Hold on a second here. Our article for the day is
Oh wow! Look at that! Look at us.
housing industry urges PAL to stop raising interest rates or risk an economic hard landing. The National Association of Home Builders and Mortgage Brokers and National Association of Realtors, hey, love to see you guys all team up. That's great. Wrote to the Fed to convey profound concern about the industry. The group asked the Fed to not to contemplate further rate hikes and not to actively sell its holding of mortgage securities. So if the Fed sold off all of its mortgage securities, that would make rates go up too. So people are getting involved. People are starting to get involved here, and it's good. It's a really good thing. It's good to see. Let me just get back to.
Now, the profound concern thing. I think what they're getting at there is that people are basically begging them not to raise rates, begging at this point, right? Just stop. It's getting out of
Mhm.
control. You gotta stop.
Right,
You
and
know?
I think last week when the everybody was speculating that, oh my goodness, the way that they're talking, it seems like they may raise rates again this year. Next year could be even worse. So I think it kind of set some alarms off for our industry, and quite frankly, we've probably seen this coming for about 6 to 8 months. It's been a little overdue for some like stop it, but yeah, in my mind, and we talked about it last week. So to piggyback on their concerns, I'm super concerned too for a couple of reasons. One, inflation's not getting better, and our industry is at a virtual standstill.
Yeah.
Lowest inventory since they've been recording it.
Highest
It's
rates in
not. It's
25
not.
years.
Yeah. Highest rates in 25 years. So affordability is not good. And then the other side of it is, they're creating such a bottleneck that when rates do come, it's not going to help home prices normalize. It's going to
No.
make them skyrocket, which is not normal. So
Yeah.
there's, I'm with them for more reasons than we do mortgages, and I want to do more mortgages. I want to see like our industry be healthy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I mean, the impact of that is pretty far reaching too, right? Because you have the normal folks that are out there trying to buy, right? You're impacting buyers, you're impacting sellers, right? People that want to make job changes, people want to move for various reasons, and they feel like they're stuck in the house that they are, or maybe they are literally stuck in the house that they are because they can't afford anything else. Obviously, the impact that it has on folks in the industry, right? Your loan officers, your processors, your underwriters, the account executives at with these lenders, right? That work with the brokers individually,
realtors, title,
realtors, title companies. Like
it's a big industry.
it's a very, very large industry. We've already seen a significant decline in the amount of loan officers nationwide. And it's only going to get worse as we get to the December renewal period for licenses. You're going to see people let those go, right? So I don't think you're going to find out the real numbers until we're into next year. Find out the impact of what it does to our industry as far as loan officers go. But we have the highest number of people that are living with their parents, right? Ever. Highest number of people ever that are living with your parents. I mean, these people, they ship you off, right? They did everything they could. They raised you, they put you through college, right? Or they helped you along, and then they ship you off. And the next thing you know, you're banging on the door like, "What's up, Mom, Dad? Can I get my old room back?" Like, what a terrible, terrible time. How
Mom, shut up.
Yeah, I'm gonna clean my room. My God, so wet. You know,
Shut up, Dad.
Jim, you're not even my dad, Dad. I'm 35 years old, Dad. For me,
Yeah.
you know. And they're moving back in
Where
with
are
their parents
you?
who bought their house for 90 grand, right? Never had to go
Oh,
through
don't
this.
get into that.
Huh?
Don't get into that.
Well, it's all part of it. So the point is that it's so big, right? It's impacting so many people, in so many different parts of the industry, and and just different industries in general. Um, so it's interesting to see, you know, it's obviously it's had its impacts until now. We'll see what those impacts continue to be down the line, right?
Hmm.
And then once it does come flooding back, right? Once the floodgates open, it'll be interesting to see what positive and negative impacts that has, like you said, on home prices. And
I think it's pretty. It's almost like a physics law of physics, but
Ooh,
applied to our world.
E equals MC Ab. Get it, Ab. Come on.
when when government and or people manipulate or put their hand on things and try to control things, the ramifications of those manipulations far exceed the the problem they were trying to prevent in the first
Right.
place.
Absolutely. You create more problems.
You create more problems, and there's been plenty of things over the last shoot. You probably could look at 100 years, but the last 5 years, there's plenty of things where um, the government, the powers that be, decided that it was in the people's best interest to be taken care of. We need to do these things to help you, and then in fact, it turns out that it hurts. It hurts the world economy. It hurts our
Right.
local and national economy, or whatever, or people in general. So I don't know. I think it's a pretty good rule of thumb. Is like, hey, how about you just let things work itself out. Um, Adam Smith, the economist, the invisible hand. I mean, didn't it's the economy 101. Like I took one class. I remember that. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, things need to the free market needs to figure itself out. So I don't like all this manipulation. I think our government should be a glorified HOA. Work on the roads and make sure the military's stout.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Man, ramification. I haven't heard you talk ramifications since the last time you talked physics. You know,
Don't get me started on ramifications.
I'm telling you what, ramifications, indications, right?
There's an indication that your ramifications are exceeding your qualifications.
Ooh, and that's physics, folks. That's Ab talking physics.
It's totally not physics, but what else is there, like laws
Yeah,
that like
yeah.
accepted
Ab knows.
laws?
No, yeah, we got to think of a word for that. Abonomics, maybe.
The
I don't know.
ramifications of your implications are beyond your qualifications, and that Al is.
Physics.
Oh man.
Abonomics. You know,
Yeah. Uh huh.
which is actually a great segue into our next and final segment. Um, right before we hit the 30-minute mark. So let's see if we can pop a couple of these off. And it's not necessarily going to be a top 9. We're just going to hit with some of our favorite office jargon, right?
Yeah, and I didn't put any. Neither of us. I mean, we've messed around and like talk about it, but from time to time, I didn't write anything down or think of anything. So
No,
if it's
this is off the
clunky,
wall.
all right. So are you going with like your least favorite, your favorite? I don't think any of the office jargon is good. It's all corny and
No,
lame.
it
So
all sucks. I'm going to tell you what. We got a project coming up, right? And we're going to need all hands on deck on this thing.
oh, all
Right?
hands on deck.
We're going to need all hands on deck. And I'll tell you what we're going to need, right? Is we're going to
We're
hit
gonna
our
need somebody.
we're going
Go
to need our
ahead.
major talking points. Okay, I'm going to need 2 rock stars. right? I need the rock stars that are really going to take the reins on this thing, right? It's going to be their baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you really just went for it all there. It sounds like you're running point on this thing.
No. I'm going to take a back seat to you. I thought you would kind of take some notes and run it up the flagpole, right?
Before we run up in a flagpole, why don't we put a pin in it? We'll circle back. All right. I don't know if right now. I don't know if the team has the bandwidth for a project like this. Let's curb the rollout. Okay. And we'll have to revisit it. All right.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, why don't we touch base on this thing, right? I'm going to ping you tomorrow, and we're going to touch base on this thing, and we're going to see how it feels, right? Because we gotta get a feel for the underpinnings, right? We got to make sure we have a good foundation, right? Or else the whole thing's going to crumble. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So. You really do need a good foundation. So that hit a lot of them. The one that I can't stand is Rockstar. It's just you're not a rock star.
No. Who's a rock star?
Mick Jagger, Robert Plant, Jimmy Page.
Pam in accounting.
Yeah, right? Let's hear this. Oh, she's a rock star. What'd she do? She showed up to work on time for a month straight. Mm-hmm. Oh, she played Madison. She played Madison Square Garden shirtless back in July. She was at the Spectrum. She's headlining at the Spectrum next month. No, she's balancing the books. All right, she's not a freaking rock star. Right. Enough.
She's also snorting lines, drinking a bottle of Jack Daniels, and biting the head off of Pigeon.
Hey, apparently. All right. We should probably not talk like this, okay? Because I don't know if corporate is going to be happy with this, and if it aligns. I don't know if this kind of talk aligns with our community guidelines.
No, definitely. It's not in the it's not part of the mission statement, to be completely honest, right?
Or our core values. I mean, it's completely
definitely not part of the core values. It is not part of the core values.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much hit all of them.
You think you hit all of them, and I thought we hit all of them, and we just pulled out core values and
we did
and mission.
We should have just taken some more time to unpack this thing.
Yes. Let's take 1,000-foot view, and maybe we'll get real high level on this thing, and we're gonna we'll dive into the nuts and bolts of it real soon.
Yeah. We don't want to get too far down in the weeds.
I mean, and let's be honest, all of this is a little over outside of our pay grade, if I may say so.
If we're being completely honest, yeah.
It's not my department.
All I can ask for is that we just have a ton of candor and transparency when we run this thing. Because at the end of the day, we need to know who's driving the ship.
So, yeah. And look, and we got to know who's driving the ship. We got to make sure that we have the right people in the right seat on the bus.
Yeah, without a doubt, right? And I think if we do that, this thing's going to land smooth, right?
Mm-hmm. It'll be a soft landing. And don't forget that we're gonna unveil all of our core pillars at our soft opening party next month. It's gonna be a really carpet event.
You got to have a soft opening.
Yeah, if you don't have a soft opening, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for disaster.
You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to get behind the 8 ball on these things. So,
but here's the thing: it's been tough. You just gotta rub some dirt on it and get back out there sometimes.
Now we're getting into good ones, though. Rub some dirt on it is something I would say to my kid. Something I do say to my kid.
Yeah, I don't even know if that's corporate. If that's
maybe
corporate.
Maybe that's a good one for next week. Dad say great dad sayings growing up.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any other corporate? Is there anything else?
No. Things are hard. Life's tough. Get a helmet. Keep rowing. Pound the rock. Shoulder pad down. Run to win. Elevator to the top's broken. You got to take the stairs. So, pretty much all I got. Tie it all into one.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to take 2 steps backward to take 1 forward.
That's a good point too. I appreciate it.
You learn more from your losses than you do from your wins, really.
Yeah, I mean, are they really losses or are they just opportunities for growth?
Or I would, maybe you could say that. Are there even such a thing as losses, or is it just a learning experience?
Yeah. No, I couldn't agree more. No pain, no gain.
Yeah, and what is it? I mean, it's tomato tomato. It's like six in one hand and half dozen in the other.
Yeah, it's when you put it that way, it makes a ton of sense because at the end of the day, the only way out is through, right?
Uh-huh. And sometimes the obstacle is the way. And I've always said that two in the hand is worth one in the bush.
Oh,
One in the hand is worth two in the bush.
couldn't agree more. And that's when it comes down. I mean, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You know what I'm saying? And the Rolling Stone's not going to gather any moss. So,
Yeah.
But does bear shit in the woods?
Look, I don't know. We got to really look. When you hit these, when you get rolling, you really got to make hay when the sun's shining.
That's so true. And another thing is you never want to shit where you eat. So, you know. But
All right, let's not get too crazy here. Don't bite the hand that feeds. All right.
all right.
let's end this thing. Let's end on a high note. Let's thank
All
the
right.
crowd and just get the hell out of here.
Until next
All
week,
right,
folks.
good show. Well done.
I
You
know.
look very sharp. You need next.
Moisturizer.
All of you folks out there that have been bothering Al to get a camera, well done. Next, let's work on some professional lighting for the guy.
I don't really think he needs it. I don't really think he needs it. You want to, I mean, imperfection is perfection at the end of the day, right?
Yep. All right, I'm ending the stream. Thanks for stopping by.